I got my party hat on today because it's Reclamation Day. So I've said in the past that I'm a really big Fallout fan and I've been excited for Fallout 76. Now I know the reviews haven't been super great for it. A lot of fans have some major complaints with it, and honestly I've run into some issues myself that I hope either get changed or fixed or something, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to like the game, say, a year from now or not. It's too early to say, but so far I've been having a lot of fun with the game. So I've recorded a bunch of my footage. I recorded probably a little past level 5. I think I'm at like level 10, 11-ish right now in my own playthrough. I didn't record everything, but I recorded the beginning of my playthrough, and today I just want to show you guys the very beginning of my journey, and if you guys like it, I can post a little bit more, like I said, up till about level 5 or 6, and yeah, I might start doing this just as a regular thing. I won't record everything I do in Fallout because I usually dump a ton of hours into a game like that, but maybe every once in a while when I have an interesting quest going, or just, you know, want to just update you guys with where my character's at, I'll record a little bit of it and post it up on here. So yeah, I just want to test this out today and see what you guys think. Alright, so here's my very first time playing Fallout 76. I'm unsure how well this recording is going to go, but let's see how it does. So right away you wake up in Vault 76, and I make my character. Did my best to make him look like me. I usually try to play myself in these sort of games. So I can edit my character later more. You're actually allowed to continue to edit your character throughout any point in this game, so I just kind of did it as quick as possible to make it look sort of like me, and just wanted to get out there playing. So here we go. Look around my room a little bit and find some neat little things like that. But you can't pick anything up yet, so I noticed the only thing you can really interact with was the computer terminal. I got a holotape out of there, and then I go over and get my Pip-Boy here. Strap that on. Looks like an older model than they had in the other games, so that's kind of interesting. Open up the door to the vault, and I kind of explore around, but most of the doors seem to be locked, so I decide to walk over this way. And I run into a Mr. Handy, who's telling me about how it's time to leave.
Don't you remember? It's Reclamation Day. Time to leave the vault.
So I walk around, I find some, looks like beer pong, it must have been a big party. And I find these little stations where I can pick up various items. Helpful stuff like stim packs, blood packs, purified water. And a party hat! Look at that. Looks familiar. So then I find the Overseer's room, and I read some interesting stuff on the Overseer's terminal. Seems the Overseer has left early, so we're going to have to go try to see if we can find her. Then I find the camp system, so that's how I'm going to be able to build, which was a huge thing I loved in Fallout 4, so I'm excited to play around with that. Still haven't done that yet. And then I find some more stuff. I find a pen and some glasses. I don't wear glasses, but hey, why not? And then I pick up these perk cards, which I don't really understand the perk system quite yet. So I end up picking Action Boy, which is fine. I would have picked that anyway. But I think you can actually pick a special, like agility, strength, you know, whatever, and a card separately. I didn't quite understand that the first 2 times I did it, so I actually stopped picking cards after this. So here we go, out into Appalachia, out into West Virginia. So I take my first steps out, and it's nighttime. I soon find a responder corpse, and it has a gun on it. So I now have a gun, a really weak pipe pistol. And I walk around until I find my first enemy, which are these strange little robots. They were not in previous Fallout games, so I easily dispatch of a few of those. Pretty slow moving, pretty easy to fight. And I find these strange propaganda posters on them, which I think they're actually Chinese robots, possibly sent to retake America or something. I find this axe, so I start using that as I'm finding gunplay is kind of tough in this game without typical VATS. So look around until it's morning. I find another responder corpse under a bridge, and eventually in the woods nearby I find this neat little camp. I decide to try out cooking, so I go over to the cooking station and just take my first stab at that. And I rest there for a while to regain my health from fighting those robots. Decide to go back over to Vault 76 just get my bearings before I head back out into the world. Eventually I find another Mr. Handy that tells me to go find the Overseer.
Camp is where you need to go.
So I head in that direction. Once again, another responder corpse. This one has a note on it about how they were supposed to go wait for Vault 76 to open, so that's interesting. On my way down from Vault 76, I find this cool little camp, cabin, I don't know, treehouse looking thing. Explore there, get some good loot. And then when I get my way down off the steep side of the mountain that 76 is on, I find my first interesting location, Gilman's Lumber Mill, which is just like a big lumber farming area. Up here I find a machete and some farmhand clothes and a hat, this cool hat. I fight some ticks that were kind of scary actually. They snuck up on me. And I find this Tinkerer's Workbench. A huge part of this game ends up being scrapping all your junk, so I end up going back to this all the time. That's one part of this game I'm not sure if I'm going to like or not. So I find another corpse here, and it has a hatchet next to it, and it has another interesting note. So there's lots of these cool notes that give you some story and lore for what's going on, so those are fun to find. Then I find the one thing that's interactable around here, really, is this Protectron that seems to be built for cutting down wood. However, he is friendly. I eventually find this cool little swing and fishing hole, and I find something smoking further up the road, and it turns out it's a government drop thing. And so whenever you see that smoke, it's really important I go over to that, because there's some really good stuff in there. So these are responder Protectrons that I found on the road, heading back down from the government drop thing. So I find more of those government drops later, and they are, again, very helpful, good items. So we go across the way from the lumber mill, and there's some farm. And out in the field, I find these interesting, what I think is a person, but it is just like an ashy corpse with these weird green things on it. When you click on it, it just falls apart. I go close to the cabin, it's the Wixon Homestead, and I fight my first Scorch. The game kind of freezes up on me a little bit here, so another semi-complaint here is the game seems to have some freezing issues, some bugs, but it's kind of to be expected. So kill some Scorched, which appear to be like ghouls, but they're always hostile, and they can use weapons and stuff. Under the porch I find a safe. I think I was able to open it yet. You can get lock picking, but I'm actually saving all my stat upgrades and perk cards, because I'm not quite sure how to do that system yet. So I'm level 10, and I've only taken 2 perk cards, so I'm going to look into that. Inside the home, I find another interesting note. And I go back and scrap some more stuff in another Tinkerer's Workbench that is in this farm area. I go out back, and there's some more Scorch back here. So I killed them, which I now have a much better gun to do that with. And I continue down the road towards the Overseer's camp and veer off when I see a light off in the distance of the forest, and decide to go explore what that is. And it turns out it is an isolated cabin. So I end up switching to my axe. Obviously still getting the hang of the controls here. And decide to explore this isolated cabin. There's a bunch of wild mongrels around here, which if anybody's a Magic the Gathering fan, Odyssey block, it was a good card back then. So I kill the wild mongrels and look around the cabin. I find some wood over by the side, and collecting wood seems to be really important in this game, because anything you cook you need wood for. I find an outhouse in the back, and inside is some medical supplies and another note. This one appears to be some sort of poem. So I level up again, and I decided to get Traveling Pharmacy. I was really just trying to put a perk in Strength, but I wasn't sure how to do this system yet. So I've been collecting the cards and getting the special bonus, so I need to figure out how to do that better. Continue down and go over this bridge, covered bridge, and on the other side is the Overseer's camp, which is what I've been looking for. So this is kind of my home base for right now. It's basically a camp the Overseer built, and I can use it like I would a camp that I built. So it has you know, some workbenches, cooking area, place I can rest. So this is kind of my home base for the beginning of the game here. I get a holotape from the Overseer.
No people so far. We have to be ready to rebuild in... If it's still standing, the town of Flatwoods is further down this road.
So that blue unit there is my stash. So I can put stuff in my stash, and you can find those stash crates at other parts of the map, and always access your stored stuff. So if I'm carrying too much stuff, I can put it in there. So I decided to explore around, and I just go up a mountain, kind of exploring the area near Vault 76, and this is the Flatwoods lookout. So the Overseer said she was in Flatwoods, or headed to Flatwoods, so this must be close by. I find a recipe on the side here. Recipes are important in this game. And I find this cabin, so I explore around in here. And some normal ghouls. These are not scorched. They don't have green fungus-looking things on them. These are just normal, old-school ghouls. And I find another note. So again, a ton of this game appears to be information you get from notes and stuff. So I go outside the cabin, find some houses and some more ghouls. And I'm using a baseball bat at this point. I find my first lock to actually pick, and it's under the lookout post, and I climb up the tower. And up at the top I find a ranger's hat, so that's kind of cool. I always like finding cool stuff. And a hard hat was down below. So I keep exploring around again near Vault 76, and I find those robots fighting a wild mongrel. So I beat those two things up in what looks like a nearby crashed vertibird, so that's cool. But another neat watering hole near Vault 76. Not a whole lot around here, but it was cool looking. And eventually I find this, a marked area on the map just south of Vault 76. This is a moonshiner's shack, so yeah, that's where it is on the map, right below Vault 76. Probably the first area I think you can find. So then I decided to go towards this lighthouse. It was the most interesting thing I could see visually, so I went a little farther than maybe I should have away from my camp and found this lighthouse. I kind of snuck up on it from the back in case there was, you know, hostile enemies, which there was. So it is the Landview Lighthouse, which makes sense as there is no water nearby. It's kind of interesting thing. There's a rad roach on the inside of it, and some ghouls on the outside. You have to keep track of your hydration and how much food you've been eating, so you have to eat a lot in this game, and things give you rads, so that's a whole system. Once again, something I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about, as it's different than past Fallout games, at least when I played, as I didn't play on survival mode. Find another note up at the top, and some interesting mechanical thing that I couldn't figure out how to get to work or do anything. Go all the way up to the very top of the lighthouse, and I find a little storage locker, and it has a Letterman's jacket in it, which is the piece of clothing I'm wearing the whole game. It has a B on it. My name's Brandon, so that was just perfect. And I've been wearing it ever since. It's probably my favorite piece of apparel I've found. So I find this water safety report in a bag on the inside of the cabin near the lighthouse. And a safe. Get some more loot. So yeah, that was pretty much my beginning of the game here. I hope this recorded well, and I will do more of these if people are interested. I would suggest going up to this lighthouse if you can make it here, especially if you want that Letterman's jacket. I don't know if that was a lucky find or if everybody can get that, but yeah, that's been my favorite piece of equipment I've gotten so far, or favorite piece of apparel anyway, mostly because it has the B on it. And you can actually wear clothing over armor in this game, so if you like customizing your character, which I do, this is a good place to come find something at. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.